What is up? It is Andy coming to you extremely early for a Thursday night. How early is it? Well, I'm about to go out for Valentine's Day. I know. Thank you. Thank you. You know, the studio audience, they're always so kind to me. But I'm about to go out on Valentine's Day, and I just assumed if I spend a full night out on Valentine's Day, I may not have enough energy at the end of the night to make a video and edit it. You know what I'm saying? No energy end of Valentine's Day. But I've looked at the Thursday slate, and I already see things that I like, and I'm going to let you know about them. So it's going to be mostly raw dogs the night after Valentine's Day. And there are quite a few picks that I like. I'm going to start nice and early with those Boston Bruins, who I believe have lost 3 of 4, all on their home ice since the All-Star break. But last game, if you watched it, they played well against Tampa, went down to a shootout, and they were just on the wrong side of it. Now you got the Kraken going in there. And the Kraken, it's finally caught up to them. They're a hardworking team. It's admirable, but their lack of offensive talent and their offensive deficiencies have made it too difficult for them to overcome on a nightly basis. They're looking to be sellers at the deadline, if you believe the headlines. And this Bruins team, you know, they got Florida coming right up from underneath them, and I think they have motivation to get things right. You don't want to lose 4 of 5 on your home ice post All-Star break to kick off the final stretch of your season. I think they have every motivation necessary to be ready for this one. But interestingly enough, the Boston win, which I do like, is not my favorite play here. My favorite play, don't you know?
Pump it up.
I like the under 6.5.
You got to pump it up.
When you think about the two styles that these two teams play, the Kraken, just look at these previous games. Won 2-1 in a shootout versus the Isles, so they mustered up 2. They scored 1 against the Devils, so this is 1 goal. I'm not going to count a shootout goal. They haven't been scoring because of those aforementioned offensive deficiencies. Boston's a team who plays good defense, likes to play with a lead, shut teams down. They haven't been scoring a ton since the All-Star break. I think this is a perfect mix to take the bump it up under 6.5. And I know you're going to complain about price. If you do want to combine it with the Bruins, always remember, don't do Bruins and under 6.5 because you're wasting a goal. You're better off doing under 7.5. If you have a ton of balls, you can do under 5.5. Or if you want to do the puck line, then you can do the under 6.5. But I'm not going to necessarily do anything like that. I'd rather just take that under 6.5 and combine it with something else that you might be disgusted by. I mean, there are going to be plenty of other picks in this video that you can take, but one that I like that I don't expect you to take is the LA Kings over 2.5 goals. So the LA Kings goal total, if you take that and put it with the Boston Bruins Kraken under 6.5, that's going to bring you to plus money. And I personally, I'm not asking you to do this because I know how you guys are. Once you get scarred by something, that's it. You'll never go back to it. Interestingly enough, eventually you'll just run out of teams. What, you have 3 teams you trust the rest of the way? But I personally, not asking you to do it, I'm going to double up the things that I did the other night. I'm taking the Kings, or if not the Kings, I'm going to take the over 2.5 goals. Yeah, this is what I'll do. Over 2.5 goals and the Kempe Kopitar line combo point mix. So both of them to get a point, that will put them at plus money. And hey, Devils fans, I will say good work. Anytime, any team in the NHL, I don't care who you are, if you win multiple games consecutively, holding the other team to 2 or fewer, you get a big thumbs up from Andy. So big thumbs up on that front. Elsewhere on this slate, we got the Dallas Stars playing the Nashville Predators, and you're probably, don't do it, Andy. Don't make us do it a third time. You told us to take the under 6.5 when these two teams played. It was a crazy game. Then you did it again. It was a crazy game. I've had enough of this. Well, as I told somebody the other day, how many of those games were played with Jake Ottinger in form? How many of those games were played post All-Star break? Did you see the other night, or have you seen every single game since All-Star break? Dallas, they didn't engage in this activity earlier in the year. Why? Yes, Andy, because the early season is in fact scam hockey, like you always tell us. Look at the third periods of each of these games post All-Star break. You're talking about 2-1 in Buffalo. Shut it down the third period. Ended up that way. Up 3-2 against the Canadiens, shut it down in the third, ended up that way. 3-2 in the third against Carolina. Yeah, I'm not counting empty netters, but I'm saying no goals conceded by them. They can play unders hockey. The reason I like them to win the division is because they know how important it was. Home ice in the first round last year, won. Home ice in the second round last year, won. not home ice in the third round last year, lost. I really think they're going for tops in that division. I believe in that defense, and I believe in this stretch that Jake Ottinger is on. And I also lean Dallas in this game. Nashville, admirable season so far. But when you look at their roster, the same way the Devils got to them the other night with their offensive talent, Dallas has so many good players. They should be able to win this game. So I like that under 6.5. And the beautiful thing, we don't even have to bump it up. Just like 2 nights ago, didn't have to bump up the Carolina-Dallas. That's a pretty thing to see. So we're just going to take it at face value. And I also like the Dallas Stars. So if you're going to do Dallas and under, remember, Dallas and under 7.5, not 6.5, because you're wasting. I can only remind you guys so many times. And I also told you that as long as Jake Ottinger's in form, every single one of his opponents, I'm taking the under 2.5 goals for the team total on. Game 1, 1 goal. Game 2, 2 goals. Game 3, 2 goals. I'm riding it until it runs out. So I'm going to take the Nashville Predators under on their team total of 2.5. But I know you guys are sick of hearing about all these unders. Unders. Oh, everything's unders, Andy, since All-Star break. Well, I said just give it a little time. Let the teams get back into the flow of things. And what do you know? There's a team who we said we got to remove them from the Ruckus group for a little while. But I'm proud to announce that the Edmonton Oilers are back. They've been called up from the minors, and they're now back in the Ruckus group. Did you see that game the other night? That's everything you want to see. 5 goals, McDavid like 4 points, and then Detroit was scoring a bunch, trading chances. That's what we love to see from the Oilers. And it wasn't just that night. They conceded 4 against the Kings. They conceded 3 or 4 against Anaheim. So it's not just one game and hoping. Now we've seen a couple of these, and I want to get ahead of this because it's only a matter of time before they start setting these Edmonton totals at 7. So I'm going to take the over 6.5 in this St. Louis Blues Edmonton Oiler game. And after McDavid has a night like he had the other night, I think I'd be a little bit crazy not to at least include his point prop in this one. I mean, we've done it so many times with Kucherov, McKinnon, or everybody has. If McDavid's hot, that's a whole nother beast together. So I'll go with the over 1.5 points for Connor McDavid. And then if he's getting 2 and he's centering Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, then I'll throw in Nugent Hopkins. That will hopefully bring that to a plus money bet. And yeah, I do lean Edmonton. St. Louis has won 6 of their last 8, but they just lost to a shorthanded Maple Leafs team that didn't have Marner, Tavares, Riley. I want to say like maybe it looks like a little bit of a trap bet, but so did that Colorado price the other night, and that one ended up panning out properly. So I like the over 6.5. I like McDavid to register a couple points. I like Nugent Hopkins to register a point, and I am going to lean for the Edmonton Oilers. But that's not the only game that offers buckets of fun. I'll tell you what, Colorado versus Tampa should offer buckets of entertainment. You got the top 2 point producers in the NHL facing off. Naturally, you want to say, oh, well, they're going to go well. It's not worth taking both of them for 2 points because it's not, I mean, look at the prices on that. Instead, I do think any Avalanche road game qualifies for ruckus potential. I'm going to take the over 6.5. It is a little worrisome. I don't know if any of you watched Vasilevsky in that last game. If he's starting that brick wall play, we could be playing with fire here. But I'm hoping this game looks kind of like that last Avalanche-Washington game where there's just goals flying left and right. We know Tampa doesn't mind engaging in those type of games. There were a ton of chances in that Boston game, seriously, but there were just a lot of saves made by both of those Vezina caliber goaltenders. And in this one, I'm hoping for over 6.5 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have been on the road for a very long time, so just make note of that. I mean, I think, what is this, 5th or 6th road game in a row, maybe, before going home? So just know that if you're going to take the Avalanche, they have been on the road a while, and as you get later on into those trips, it starts to become a little burdensome. We saw one of their longer trips earlier in the year. They just got shut out by Buffalo and Pittsburgh in back-to-back games. But once again, I'm going to stress, final third of the year, usually closer to real hockey. First third of the year, the closest to fake hockey. So I'll take the over 6.5 there. But that's not the only one. My goodness, Andy, you're giving us goal. You brought goals for us. Just like those box of chocolates on Valentine's Day, you're giving us gifts. You're giving us flowers. You're giving us everything. I'm looking at the Vancouver Canucks playing the Detroit Red Wings. They just played a couple days ago in Detroit. Detroit eked that one out in overtime. It was like 0-0 after the first. And then the ruckus got turned on. You guys know what I say about West Coast teams at 1 o'clock games. teams who have that Pacific Coast inner clock, who have to play at 1 p.m. and it's 10 a.m. in their head, takes them a little while to get going. But Detroit, we've seen ruckus from them in these last couple. They're scoring, they're conceding, and I'm thinking this one's going to be like that game that they just played over the weekend. I'm going to take the over 6.5, and this one has major ruckus potential. And this is the best kind of ruckus game, by the way, because it's not like it's Kucherov and McKinnon, where you can take two guys for over 1.5 points and the payout is awful. These Vancouver games, and when you got a guy like Dylan Larkin, if you take these guys for 2 points and 2 points, you get some fresh payouts. So give me JT Miller for 2 points, Dylan Larkin for 2 points. That's going to give you a fat stack. Or if you want to replace any of those Vancouver Canucks, if you want to go with Pettersson or you want to go with Lindholm, I'm sure he's going to fetch a great price on that. And you know he plays on that stacked power play, plays on a stacked line. So there are a bunch of opportunities in this game for some ruckus same game parlays for all the Pirates out there. That's what I got for you here on a Thursday. I hope Wednesday went well, so we're still playing for the 11th straight winning week. We will see. We will see. Hopefully we are, though. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Do me a favor. If you're enjoying these videos, click the like, click the comment. As long as it hits 125 comments and 7,500 views, I will post this in the middle of the night. You'll be getting your sniffs. And also make sure you're subscribed here if you guys want the updated picks where I can see which goalies are starting and I can actually check out some of the line combos, any demotions, promotions, standard trickle-down snakeonomics. I will post that stuff on my Patreon, which you guys can always join. The link is always below, and I throw it at the end of the videos. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. I'll see you then.